This is Sam, and this is a guy that we've never met before, but he's going to sit there and talk to us anyway. So, today, what are we going to talk about?
A couple of questions coming. We've got a couple about weight loss, cheat meals, how to get into exercise, hydration, and how to break down your macronutrients. So
You have some questions coming about weight loss.
it's about weight loss supplements.
Weight loss supplements?
Supplements, yeah.
Okay.
So like diet pills, like fad diets, stuff like that.
So which one are we going to start with?
Do you want to start with how to get into exercise, the first steps of...
I think maybe a good one for this would be how did we all get into exercise to start?
Very good point.
I'll
We've
start.
got slightly different stories.
I was playing rugby. We started lifting about the age of 12. That's when we started getting us into the gym. Just started exercising. Wanted to get bigger. Wanted to get stronger. So always the short kid, so I had to do something in order to be able to stay competitive.
You had something to back up your little man syndrome.
I get taller, just get wider.
So were you always into training, and you were always doing sport from
Since I was
when you were a
about
kid?
12, yeah. I mean, yeah. So just before I was a teenager, so year 8, high school.
Yeah.
Started, you know. I was always a small guy, so I was just sick of being called the small guy.
So he still gets called the small guy?
Small guy, yeah.
Okay, I'm still a small guy, but I'm like a kind of relatively strong small guy.
Alan can't reach things higher. You know, it's just outside his job description.
How about you, Sam? Did you get into it?
Same as him. I played rugby with Alan. We played many years together.
Did you two win the national cup?
We've won a few trophies and went unbeaten for a few seasons.
Did you?
Yeah.
We were quite good.
No,
we were alright.
Alright. So, like, yeah, same as Alan. We got into lifting in the gym, and then obviously a few bad injuries in my playing days. It still gives me something I can compete at and keep getting better at.
Mm-hmm.
He's 20 and he's retired already. Seriously now.
What about yourself, Paul?
Myself, I was a really skinny 11-year-old, and I used to get
Really
for it when I
skinny.
first started playing rugby. So I got a weight set from my uncle, and I still remember getting stuck under 20 kilos in my garage doing bench press.
Still does.
Yeah, still do, but
still
never gone back
some
from there. How about you, Steve? You're a bit different.
Yeah, I'm a bit different from all these guys in that they all played sport when they were younger, and I ate burgers and chocolate when I was younger.
Yeah, you
played
the saxophone.
Thanks, guys, appreciate that. We'll edit that bit out.
Nothing against the saxophone, but
And I was the short fat kid until I was about 17, and I wanted to join the army, so I got fit, and subsequently didn't get it in the army, and thought, right, okay, well I'm fit, might as well use it now. So I went and worked with a personal trainer, and it went from there. I remember one day being in the gym, a council gym I used to train at, and I was surrounded by kids and I couldn't use anything. I just stormed out and thought, you know what, sack it. I'll go and start my own. So that's how we launched the business. But by this point, I was in shape. That was probably the best shape I've been in. I was 18, 19 years old, and I think that was a big turning point for me, because I started eating clean, started doing a lot of training, and it was, I think, the consistency of doing it, which was the big thing for me.
I think everyone reaches a point where they have same sort of similar things with everyone's. Is they'll reach a turning point in their life. Like with you were sick of being the skinny kid. Alan was sick of being that short
skinny kid.
So none of us are succeeding.
I'm short, like.
But as I say, it's all about, like, you'll reach that point where you might have a goal in mind. So some people might have like a wedding come up, or you know, they'll see someone on TV where they're like, you know, that's what I want to achieve, and it's been having that relatable goal where they might see someone who's lost like 2 stone, and they're going, well, that's what I want to do, and that might be the turning point for them to realise, like, this might be the day that I change.
But they've got to really want to do it though, because there's no point like dicking around with it.
No, it's a good thing. It can if it can take people's mind off like addiction and stuff. It can like help get you out of depression.
So we know that now if they've seen a goal that they need to, they want to get to. What's your best piece of advice to, once they've set that goal, what's the first step they should do to get into fitness?
I'd say go speak to people.
Yeah.
You know, this is...
like professionals or...
Well, it doesn't have to be to professionals. I'd say just speak to anyone about it. You know, if you're in the gym, you know, you've obviously got the trainers down here. This is, you know, the great setup we have down here. The trainers are all approachable and everyone's going to help with the goals. And can help, that can help set someone on the way, because obviously you've got that goal, but it's like, that feels so far away. You know, if you're trying to, like me personally, I want to pull like a 250 deadlift, but that feels like quite a far way away. So you've got to set them sort of small goals, and it's realising what road you need to take to get to them goals, which for a lot of people can seem overwhelming. Like having a big goal at the end and thinking they need to achieve it straight away.
Comes back against this consistency though, doesn't it? I mean, like you say, if they're on that road, they have to stay on the road, no matter what comes along. If they fall off the wagon, and you just recognise it and get back on and move, and keep going forward.
There's multiple roads that you can take. It's never one road.
We're really sticking with this road analogy, aren't we? It's like a map on a journey.
Ironically, I'm terrible at directions. That might be why I'm doing it.
So you're saying the first step then is to get in and speak to someone who can help them take a journey rather than just thinking the end goal. So what about you, Alan? What's your...
I'd say that, again, one of the ways I do it, and I spoke to Paul quite a lot about this, is so you got your big goal, so say you set like a yearly goal and like a 6-month goal, 3-month goal, you break it down to each week and you say, if you do this right this week, it'll set you up right for the next week. And that's it's like little building blocks, you just keep going down it. So if you're trying to lift, so I'm trying to hit a 180 squat. I'm about 22.5 off at the moment. If I just say like a kilo a week for the next like
2020, kilo a week till 2020.
A kilo a week for like the next 20 weeks. That puts me right up there. So it's just like if I, albeit like okay, some people like you might like hit a bit of a plateau. That's when you reset yourself and go again. But that's a different.
That makes it a lot
you know what I mean? Like if you say, okay, if I can lift a kilo heavier this week, or I can run on like half a mile further this week, and next week I can run. If I put another half a mile into that, I've gained a mile.
Small progressions.
Yeah, I've gained a mile in 2 weeks.
How does that apply for the people? You know, a lot of the people watching this. Well, to be honest, I can't imagine that's many. I've probably turned off.
I've lost everybody.
For the two of you that are still watching it,
you guys,
you know, thanks.
How do we? I mean, they might not necessarily be looking at like a lifting goal. So how do they apply that to what 90% of people come here for, which is
I would say same again. So if you want to, say if you got a goal of losing a stone, and say I don't know how long. Say okay, let's say you say 2 months. If you just say, so 14 pounds, so if you say 1.5 pounds, and you make, again, it's just breaking it down to small achievable goals. Because otherwise, if you look at the bottom of a mountain, you start at the bottom of a mountain, you look at the top and go, oh, that's so far up. Or you can say, you look a bit further and you go, oh, I can get that. Then you get there, and you go again. You just say all the way up before you know you actually
one step at a time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like we should have a buzzer for metaphor of the day.
Yeah, it's like we're doing a lot. We're not really this deep a lot.
We've had maps, we've had mountains,
but. So going off Alan's point, a lot of people will have sort of a generic, well not a generic goal, but a lot of people have the goal of lose body weight, lose body fat, sorry. So, I mean 10%, obviously when we've gone through the scales and that, they might want to lose about 10% body fat, and that might be their ideal sort of body shape, and then reasonably toned in that, whatever that means. But you 10% body fat.
We'll bring it back to a point in a moment.
I'm coming round.
Stay
so
with us.
10% body fat might seem quite a way off. So you've got to make some maybe like 1% in a week, 1% on a certain goal. So you'll have like so you might every week you might lose a pound or so, and just make it more manageable than something that say, oh, I've got to lose 10% body fat, which
10 stone.
It sounds a lot and it's very daunting, and that can put people off by having them sort of big numbers.
Steps. What's your biggest advice for someone to get started?
Join Sweat.
Join Sweat.
On a 12-month membership.
Yeah.
No, I think it always comes back to me for like consistency and knowing that I really hate it when people come and say, oh, well, I'm not going to start today because I've eaten shit today. Just do it. I've eaten shit today, so that means I've ruined the rest of it. No, just start. You can start right now and just say I don't eat
watch
rubbish
the video, the Shia LaBeouf Do It video. Just do it.
Just do it. It's one of the things like if you keep saying tomorrow never comes, you've got to do it today. You've got to put your head to it. Otherwise, you're never going to get there.
I think going off what Steve said about the whole joint sweat, I mean, I'm not just saying this is an advertisement, but get around like-minded people who want to do similar things to
winners breed winners.
Exactly, you know, if you're a project of the people you spend the five people you spend the most amount of time with. So if you can get around people who
See you guys.
right, but yeah, so if you get with people who are all on a similar path to you, there's more chance that you're going to stick with it for longer.
Yeah.
But then once you've done that, it's just about being consistent to yourself, but also using that support group there to help you.
Each day you can do it. So with Paul, you're doing a lot. You're trying to cut down quite a bit of body fat at the moment. You're prepping every day. You're doing the little bits you need to do. You're making sure your hydration's okay. You're making sure your meal prep for the next day is perfect. Okay, that's going to take what, like 30-40 minutes a day.
You should. The more
Exactly.
you do it, the easier
What
it
is it? 20 days. If you do something every day for 20 days, it's a habit. It's a habit, and it becomes so much harder to stop doing it. It's into your system.
Definitely.
You just set your life up around it. You know, you eventually say, oh, you know, what will make this easier is that if we sit down on a Sunday before we go shopping and say, right, well, next week we're going to eat these meals. Here's the list that goes with that, and then suddenly you've got everything there.
Exactly. So now we know the little bits and bobs of like the big overall picture.
Well, you haven't given you up.
I did get around like 90 people. So thank you. But
on that point though, can I just add something? You know, just to get a bit of a soppy note around here, lads. And the first, you know, I've not been here that long, but what I've realised is...
You won't be here much longer, lad.
Well, I'd just like to say thanks for having me. It's been the community down here is great. Like everyone that trains, everyone's really happy and they enjoy the training as much as it's difficult and it's hard. But when everyone's sort of talking and interacting with each other, and it becomes less of a chore then, you know, and everyone's enjoying like sort of taking part, and especially with the team stuff we do, like when we do paired exercises, I find, you know, you're not only building your sort of physical side of yourself, but you're also getting that sort of that interaction with people.
And some people become more confident.
It really does. That's the benefit of training in the group.
You build so many friends from just from getting out there training with people.
Not feeling like you're on your own.
Exactly.
You see there's other people.
No, there's a couple of studies.
Mr. University.
You can increase, you work harder if you've got someone there to motivate you and encourage you than if you're working out on your own.
This is a joke 1968 social facilitation.
It's an old one. They've been around a while. It still works though. I live better when I've got someone that's spotting me, or if I've got someone that's saying, okay, or just like making
just
use. Paul comes up to me and goes, right, you're going to walk up to this weight, you're going to grab it, you're going to pick it up, and then you stand up with it, okay? Awesome. Then you go and do it. It's just one of them. It's simple as that.
We've got like the mental side of things, the goal setting, a little bit above now. If someone had to put it into a plan, how they're going to get started. Say if they're wanting to lose this theoretical stone that we've been talking about, hypothetical stone. So what are they going to do? £14, Sam, that makes it easier for you, Mr. America. Right, so they want to lose £14. What do they need to do then to get started? They want to lose it in 7 weeks time, 8 weeks time. What do they do today to get started?
Well, there's so many things out there which are like the magic bullet to like try and fix this problem. But really, what you need to do is you need to stop eating less shit.
Stop eating less shit, so eat more shit.
Cut out the crap. As much picture as you want. Stop eating shit. Eat good food, but not too much good food. And do some meaningful exercise.
It's like obviously we've said get diet. We do know what we're talking about. We've got a very educated group of people. We all come from like good backgrounds. We all constantly researching what we.
I mean, I've never seen these guys, but I believe they do. These guys do exist, and they do work somewhere. Who are you?
So get down, get some support.